to the course Agentforce for Everyone. In this episode, we are going to learn how to transfer a conversation from an AI agent to a live human agent. So far in the playlist, we have learned what is Agentforce, how to create an agent, what are custom actions, how to create and custom actions with flows, with epics, what are topics, instructions, how to add actions, and what permissions we need to create an agent. So to transfer an AI agent to live human agent, we need to follow a couple of steps. So I have listed down all the steps. So the first, we need to create an Agentforce service agent. Once we have a Agentforce service agent, then we need to enable our Omni-Channel. We also need a routing configuration and a fallback queue. Fallback queue is the number of members where the work gets assigned if the AI agent is unable to solve the problem, or if the customer is explicitly asked for, let's transfer to the human agent. Then we also need an inbound omni-channel flow. Inbound omni-channel flow is responsible for route the work to the agent. For example, if a customer sends a message from, let's say, from WhatsApp, from Facebook, or from an experience site, if a customer sends a message, then the omni-channel flow inbound is responsible for pass the message from a customer to Agentforce. Then we will also need some presence status. We will see what are present status and what permissions we need to set to the user. Then we also need a service cloud permission, because for omni-channel, service cloud permission is required. Then we are going to add the omni-channel to the service console, so a live human agent can use the omni-channel and interact with the customer. We also need a outbound omni-channel flow. Outbound omni-channel flow is responsible for transferring the work from Agentforce to live human agent, which we will see in this session today. Once we have the omni-channel flow outbound, we are going to connect this flow to our service agent. Then we are also going to modify our service agent to add a escalation topic. Escalation topic is responsible to understand the agent that I need to transfer this work to the live human agent. Once we are done with all the steps, then we are going to test the AI agent from our experience site, and we are also look at how a messaging session can receive the messages and how a live human can respond to the customers live. So in my previous episodes, we already have created a number of Agentforce service agent. We already set up the omni-channel routing configuration, fallback queue, and we also created the inbound omni-channel flow. So I'm not going to repeat those steps again, but I will definitely go through each and every step line by line. So let's first look at our Agentforce service agent. So to look at the Agentforce service agent, we need to go to Agentforce agents. And as you can see, I already have an Agentforce service agent. So let's first understand the requirement. So the purpose of today's episode is to transfer the conversation from an AI agent to a live human agent. For example, a customer is sending a message, a customer is landing to the experience site and talking to an agent, let's say asking for some case status or some updates on any object or any record, and agent is successfully able to help the customer, but then the customer is demanding more. Let's say they are demanding more which the AI agent cannot perform. So in that case, we have a mechanism that the AI agent then can transfer the customer to the live agent, and then the live agent can interact to the customer and then resolve their queries accordingly. So for this scenario, I already have a Agentforce service agent which has two topics. One is the book management and then the case management. We can ignore the book management topic, and then we are focusing on the case management for this episode. So if I go to the case management, I have an instruction that the customer needs to provide a case number so that the agent can find the status of the case and respond back to the customer. Now let me ask the question, what is the status of case? So the status of the case is working. Now customer is asking this question day by day and the status won't get changed. So the customer is getting frustrated that why my status is still in working stage, why it is not progressing. So let's say customer simply ask this question to the AI agent, why this case is still working. So now the agent is replying, I don't have the specific details on why the case is still in working status. You might want to contact the case handler or support team for more detailed information. Is there anything I can assist you with? Now, this is the perfect scenario where we can transfer this chat to a live human agent. So that's how we are going to implement this today. So we have seen, we have a Agentforce service agent. Then we are going to see the Omni-Channel routing configuration and then the fallback queue, and then we understand what are those and why it is required. So if I go to the Omni-Channel settings, I need to enable the enhanced Omni-Channel routing, which I have already done in my previous episode. And we also need to set the behavior to automatically log agents into the Omni-Channel in the new window or tab. Then we are looking at the routing configuration. Routing configuration is also a part of Service Cloud, which basically defines the number of capacity for a live human agent can handle, like the talk to the customers in one go. And there are some other settings as well. Then we created a fallback queue. So this is the messaging queue. This queue is basically responsible if a work assigned to the queue, then the queue assign the work to the number of users available in the queue. If there are no users available, that means the work is not going to assign to anyone. So I have added myself to pretending as a live human agent. So whenever the AI will transfer the work to the queue will transfer the work to me. So that means we have done this step also. Then we also need an inbound omni-channel flow. So now, as I said, this is responsible for routing the work from customer to agent. So I will show you the inbound omni-channel flow. Or maybe it's better I can show you from the Agentforce. So this is my inbound omni-channel flow, which is routing the work to agent. So this is a very simple flow, just one element. So it is basically working on the messaging session record. So whenever a messaging session gets created, it is trying to find the record with the help of record ID parameter. Record ID parameter we have created to accept the record ID, and this is available for input. So once the record is available, the service channel, it will pick the message because we are defining the mode as a messaging. Then it will route the work to my Agentforce service agent, and this is the Agentforce service agent name. And if anything gets failed, or if the agent needs to transfer the work to the live human agent, so we use as a fallback queue and messaging queue. Messaging queue I have recently showed you, I have created, and then I have assigned myself as a live human agent. So this is a simple flow. Now if I go back, then we need some presence status and assign some permission set to the user. So let's talk about the presence status. So presence status are something where a live human agent can describe their availability, if they are available, if they are away on lunch or if they are offline. So let's create one by one. Available. Available means they are online, and I will use the messaging as a selected channel. Then I will also create another one which says, let's say, away for lunch, and they are busy, and see. We don't need to create the presence status for offline because the offline is by default. So when we use our Omni-Channel, we will gonna see three options: available, away for lunch, and offline. So we create the presence status. Now we need to assign those presence status to a permission set, and then we need to assign that permission set to a user. So for that, I'm going to the permission sets. I already created a permission set which is custom agent permission specifically for the agents. So maybe I can use the same permission, or I can directly go to the profile and assign those presence status access. But let's use the same permission set. And if I go to service presence statuses access and I click edit, so I can assign both the service presence status to the user, to the permission set, and finally I can assign this permission set to myself. Why myself? Because I am going to pretend as a live human agent, so I need to make sure that I have all the presence statuses available. Next, assign, done. So the permission set assignment is complete. We also need to provide a service cloud permission to the user. So if I go to a live human agent user and click on edit, then there is a checkbox called service cloud user. We need to make sure this checkbox is enabled in order to use the Omni-Channels, because Omni-Channel, the routing configuration, the presence status are all a part of service cloud. We also give the flow user and offline user and marketing user. That's fine. This is not required, but I'm just giving it just for the sake of not receiving any error, and click save. Done. So we have done assigning the service cloud permission to the user. Now we are adding the Omni-Channel to the service console. For that, I will launch a service console from the app launcher, and I can only see a history channel, which is not required here. So I'm going to set up, then app manager, and then I'll find the service console, which is row number 25. I'm going to edit this, and utility items, and add utility item, and Omni-Channel. We can also change the panel width and panel height, but I will use the by default settings, and click save and back. And if I now go to the service console, I can see the Omni-Channel, and now I can see all my presence status which I have assigned to myself. Available, away for lunch, that means I'm busy. Available, that means I'm available to work, I'm available to talk to the customers. Offline, that means I'm not at the desk, and or maybe I'm on leave. So we will look more about this in a bit. So we added the Omni-Channel to the service console. Now we also need a outbound Omni-Channel flow, which is responsible for routing the work from agent to live human agent. So let's create a outbound Omni-Channel flow, because that is something I have not created yet. So I am going to set up flows, new flow, scratch, and we are going to use the Omni-Channel flow. Omni-Channel flow and create. We need a record ID variable because record ID is basically the messaging session record ID. So whenever a session gets created, we need to find that session and then assign the session to the live human agent. Record ID will be of type text, available for input. And then we are going to add an element route work. So this is going to route my work to live human agent. And how many work records to route? So we are going to route one by one. So that's why I choose single, and I'll find the messaging session record with the help of record ID. Channel will be the messaging. And now I need to route my work to queue, not the Agentforce, because we are going a vice versa. So we select the queue where we need to route, and which queue you need to route? Messaging queue. So in the messaging queue, I am the member. So then I will get the work assigned, and I will leave the other options as it is, and I will click save. Before I click save, we can do more changes to this flow. For example, we can assign the case to the messaging session. We can assign the contact to the messaging session, but that's not a part of this episode. So that's why I'll just keep it very simple, how we can transfer the work to the live human agent. Now I click save, flow route work to live human agent, and save. Then click activate. So our outbound omni-channel flow is ready, and now we need to add the flow to our service agent. So if I go to the agent and click refresh, and if I go to the connections, you can see outbound omni-channel flow has nothing, but inbound omni-channel flow has a flow. So inbound, I'll explain again. So the inbound omni-channel flow is something which is route the work from customer to agent. Outbound omni-channel flow is something which is going to route the work from agent to live human agent. So we are going to choose a flow which we have just created, route work to live human agent, and this is going to be the escalation message. We can definitely change it, but I will just keep it as by default, and save. We could not save your changes. Try again. I think because my agent is already active and I need to deactivate this first, and then I'll click refresh, go to the connections tab. This is already set, or maybe I can click activate now. So I think it is activated now, as I can see my flow. So we have a inbound omni-channel flow and we have a outbound omni-channel flow. So that means we have completed this step as well. Now we need to add the escalation topic so that the agent can escalate our message and it can transfer to the live human agent. For that, I'm again going to deactivate this agent so that I can modify, and I will go to topic. I can add the escalation in any of the topic, but it is always a best practice to have a separate topic for separate section. So here I'm not going to create a topic, but I'm going to use a standard topic. So if you see, we already have an escalation topic available from the Salesforce side. So I'm going to use that. Finish. So this escalation topic, if we just look at the instruction, it says if a user explicitly asks to transfer to a live agent, escalate the conversation. That means it will fire the outbound omnichannel flow. The outbound omnichannel flow will transfer to the live human agent. This is done, and then activate. So we have modified the agent and added the escalation topic to the service agent, and we also activated the Agentforce service agent. Now it's time to test this on experience side. Because we have already deployed our Agentforce service agent to the experience side in the previous episode, in some of the previous episode, if you want how we can deploy the agent to the experience side, you can click on the link above and then you can get a step-by-step information how to deploy this to the experience side. Because I have already done that, so I'm directly going to my site and login. So I'm going to all sites. So this is the site which we have created in the previous episode. I will directly jump to this. So this is my service agent. Now I need to keep the screens divided so I can show you how a agent will receive the message and how it can be transferred to the live agent. For that, I am separating this window. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So we are going to the messaging session. Messaging session is a place where a live human agent can receive the messages, but we don't need to even go this. I'll just show my intention is to show you what are messaging sessions and how a service agent receives the messages in the form of a conversation. But we can also go to the service channel, and we are currently offline. That means I am a live human agent, but I'm not currently at the work. And if I show you the queue, so this is my queue, and this has only one member, which is me. If we assign more members, so what the Agentforce will do, it will transfer the work to all the users which are available. Let's say if more than one user is available, so they will get a notification, and whosoever is going to pick the work, they are responsible to interact to the customer. But let's not go far into this. Assuming we only have one employee working in a company and they need to take care each and everything. So if I close this, and I'm the live human agent, I'm currently offline, I'm not at work. So let's see how it works. So the right hand side is a customer, left hand side is a company which has an employee which is currently offline. So let's say the customer is asking, what is the status of case 16? So before I hit enter, let me also show you the cases. So 00001016 case, so this is currently in the working stage. So let's say the customer is asking what is the status of this case. Okay, so the agent, so this is the reply we are getting from the Agentforce. So Agentforce says the status of the case is working. Now the customer is getting frustrated that I'm asking this status daily and this is saying working all the time. Let's say why this case is still working. I would like to talk to someone. One moment while I connect you to the next available service representative. So now you can see the transfer request is initiated. The Agentforce left the conversation and it is trying to transferring this conversation to a live human agent. But this is keep going because the live human agent is offline and he doesn't reach the office. So let's say I am reaching the office and I am now changing myself from offline to available. So now let's see the magic. As soon as I change the status to available, I got this message. I got the notification that I need to accept this job. So if I, from this right button, if I accept this job, you can see it says Ankit Ji joined. And if I minimize this, this is the conversation, this is the messaging session record, which is a platform where a live human agent can interact to the customer. So we can also see all the chat history, that this is the starting point, and then the customer asked for the case status, the agent responded, and then the customer again replied, and then this is the message which we have seen while setting up the outbound omni-channel flow. Then the Agentforce left the conversation and I have joined. Now it's my responsibility to handle this customer. So let's say, hello, my name is Ankit, how can I help you today? As soon as I hit enter, the customer got this message immediately, and the customer will simply reply, thank you for your message, have a good day. So this is just a demonstration how a customer can interact to the live human agent. So the live human agent will also get the message from the customer, and we can end the conversation. The customer can end the conversation also. The live human can end the conversation with the help of end chat. Yeah, customer, or maybe mark customer inactive. So you can see the live human agent left the conversation, and I can also end the chat. So this is how the transferring works. This is how we transfer the conversation from AI agent to a live human agent. So which we have completed all the steps, and I hope you like this video. If you have any question, any concerns on setup or authentication, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I will see you in the next episode. Till then, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.